Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Seafoam Bay. When last we left off, well, I'm not entirely sure what all happened. It was a short session, so you guys managed to make your way out of the lighthouse, ran away from there. You guys managed to escape Sentinel Isle. Just realized the music ain't playing. That's not fun. This one, right there. Some new music from what we were talking about the other day. You guys managed to do that. What happened after you guys left?
We went to the
Sentinel
bank
Isle.
and we sealed the sword in. Oh no. I guess we're not getting that back anytime soon.
That's right. You sealed the sword in the stone. How do I put that? King Arthur style. What else happened?
Yeah, a bit more advanced than that. This is the sword that has been magically fused into the wall so that no one can find it.
No one, you say.
I mean, no one other than the BBEG who will inevitably get it and go, aha! I have the cancer sword! The blade of Rona!
Well, that's just the question. Who's the BBEG?
Me.
Okay.
You mean it's not Sindel?
Who?
From Mortal Kombat?
I'm thinking the wrong name. The gunsmith.
Senel?
That's it.
Sinel's
Sinel.
not evil, he's just morally gray. And not in the Blizzard way of, I'm morally gray, so I'm going to end the universe.
They consider that morally gray?
Yeah, this world is a prison. I'll kill the afterlife.
So anyway, I'm just every time I hear more WoW lore, I'm like,
Yeah, no one liked Shadowlands.
This is-
That's why we ignored it and went on a fun adventure with dragons.
man. Okay. What happened after that?
We went home, and by home, I mean Alex's house, who it's going to be even more awkward that we're living in now.
Yeah, probably.
But us getting our own, like, bespoke place in this economy?
You'd have to have money for that.
In LA? The fantasy part of this LA is that you can afford rent.
This is true. This is very true.
And we introduced Lo to everyone. Lo is one
Not
of the
everyone,
first
but a lot of
people
people.
that Alex has not been like, marry my sister. And I think that's just because there'd be difficulties in like propagating the bloodline.
It'd probably be one of those, well, we'd have to adopt, and we have to adopt. How do we make sure that they're the rightful heir and everybody recognizes that? And anyway.
Marry my sister.
He's not even here. You can...
That makes it easier to make fun of him.
Well, I was going to say, do it later when he's here, and then I remembered. And now I'm sad.
No. I mean, we could call him at work.
Hey, yeah, you gotta tell your bosses that you're getting paid to play D&D on Wednesdays, because you promised.
Based.
But, let's see. We'll say it's the next morning. I know that doesn't exactly line up with where we left off last time, but let's say it's the morning. And it's bright and early. Everybody is down at breakfast. You guys are deciding where to go, what to do next. Jasper's laid out the same usual feast in front of you for breakfast. Wisteria is at the table reading her normal paper. What is the plan now?
I'm trying to remember. We do need to talk to the ambassador because we might have information about someone potentially impersonating them. No, well, or was it impersonating them? I know we need to speak with them about something.
Oh, I've updated the threads on the notes page. So that may help you. The group
Yes.
threads.
We also I need to go talk to a chicken because the chicken's brother is deep fried.
Probably. Maybe. At some point. Yes. Let's see. But yes. So you've got to talk to that. Dawn, I believe we had to have you go to Acheron and collect a couple of things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Devlin, your plan for the day? For the morning, at least.
Oh boy, I don't know because, well, I could still follow Arn around like I did before. Because I seem to be helpful in his investigations.
More helpful than the than the detective.
Oh.
Okay.
And don't we have to tell Volk's wife we figured out that he's actually gone?
Yeah, we have many people we need to be like, hey, Volk's just fucking dead.
Yeah. There is that. Probably while you guys are working this out, at one point, Wisteria would interrupt and say, "At some point, could I ask a favor of you three?"
Of course.
Yeah.
I was originally going to take Alex, but he's under the weather this morning. I don't feel safe going up to, well, to cast our vote on the floor today. I would appreciate if one or hopefully all three of you could accompany me sometime around lunch. You'd get to see the Capitol, and, well, you'd get to see what Congress looks like from the inside. If you're interested.
That's fine with me.
Definitely.
For all three of us.
Zappa, you can get your butt out of my face. Thank you. Sorry.
Nothing I can think of we have right now is that time sensitive.
Good. Well, but please, enjoy your mornings. Get your shopping or everything out of the way, and then I suppose I can meet you at the Capitol at noon if that works.
Sure, we'll have to bring someone along. Show her the ropes. Smiling
Ooh,
at Dawn.
Dawn? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to sit on my lap right now, but you cannot sit on my lap. Thank you.
Oh, the little dummy.
So,
The
okay.
dumbest creature that ever did live.
He's got like half a brain cell. I don't know where the other half went. He probably ate it.
I eated it.
Well, that's all he wants. That's all he is he's hungry or he's bored. And I play with him, but he's still bored.
My cat's just
That's-
hungry.
What was it? Oh, I needed to pull up these. Yep. But okay. You guys had a minute to review the threads as they were.
Yes.
Okay.
Why did it take so long for that to update? Or not
For what?
update. The music only just now started playing to me, which is weird.
Oh, it's been playing for me for just a minute.
I know, that's why I was like, huh.
So, let me think here. Yeah, where are you guys off to first? Volk or Echerons? Or are we splitting up?
How much time do we have? Because I remember Chicken lives pretty far, doesn't she? The familial state.
If it helps, you could always try and find her when you're at the Capitol, because
True.
it is a
She'll
big
have to-
vote coming up today.
She'll have to cast a vote.
Yes. Now, the three of you were not privy to what the vote is on today, correct?
Is this the forced conscription of labor?
Yes.
Gasp.
But I don't believe you were there for that conversation, were you?
I think
Yeah,
it might have been just Dawn and Alex.
Yeah.
'Cause I wasn't there.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay. So, Dawn, at the very least, would understand what she means when she says she's not entirely comfortable going up there by herself today.
Right.
So,
Tense situation.
very much so. But, yeah, the morning, it's about 9 o'clock. It's enough time to hit up Acheron, see what his plan is for the future. Grab her stuff, and then maybe head up to the capital.
Yeah.
So, guess we should probably let Volk's wife know sooner rather than later. That seems to be the nice thing to do. It doesn't.
Wife, or do you mean
feel-
sister?
He had a wife, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought you.
There was someone who told us the rhyme and was like, and then Volk disappeared. That wasn't Eris. There was one other person we talked to about Volk with. Met them at the tavern.
Oh god. I'm drawing a blank. I remember
We
you
could
guys.
all be fibbing.
Yeah, we could be delusional.
I was gonna say I remember you guys meeting the ambassador at a tavern.
We've met a lot of people at taverns.
Meeting people at taverns, the video game. Actually, they already made that game. I'm pretty sure it's called Tavern Talk.
I thought it was called Tapper.
That sounds a lot like the insult in Thief, where everyone's a taffer.
Yeah. Okay.
He said the T word.
Try hard?
Taffer.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time. But we can go ahead and we'll start with the Acheron spot first, and then I'll dig through my notes here while we're talking to figure out.
I'm doing the same because now I have been successfully gaslit into wondering.
But yeah, so you guys head down to Martha's head to Martha's boutique. I say head down. You're really heading up into the Diamond District. And same usual location, brightly adorned. Stepping into the front, lady at the front counter ushers you to Acheron's specialty wares. In the back, Acheron's sitting there at the counter, studying something over a jeweler's lens, or under a jeweler's lens. Looks up. Oh, the three of you. Where's number 4?
Not
He's
feeling
feeling a bit
well.
under the weather, so
Hmm.
he's staying away from trouble today. Hopefully.
Well, after going through there, I'm not surprised. As promised, he waves. Yeah, he'll wave a hand, and the counter in front of him slowly flips and rotates until the underside of the desk is on top. And laid out on it is a set of armor. For you, Miss Dawn Morrow. What does this look like, Dawn? What does your armor look like?
I chose half plate, kind of, because that's a little more mobility and you can kind of customize a little more. So you got chainmail underneath, and then gauntlets, pretty standard shoulder pieces, and then chest plate, plate legs. Not too big into the plate skirts, so I would choose the legs.
Right.
Yeah, and then say maybe the chest plate is adorned with the symbol of Mesluda.
Remind me how we spell that again.
I believe that's MESLUD. Is it EH? No, I never looked at it in a while myself. Let me see.
Ah, okay, I found it. Yep. Oh, it's a Z. My bad.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. I just need to remind myself what that symbol looks like.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It's the...
Oh, okay. So it's the Ouroboros with the eggs?
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha.
An infinite breakfast, the Ouroboros eggs.
The center egg in this emblem is actually it has a piece of moonstone inlaid into it in the center. Anything else about this armor before we move on?
Yeah, say so. Pretty standard. I have that helmet too, but I'm probably not gonna wear it all the time.
Okay. We can say there's a helmet there as well.
Yeah.
Acheron will see that you noticed the moonstone and says, I've got just a tiny bit more to do on that emblem, or on the rune for that, before I can give this to you, but it'll take just a second. All I need to know is your activation phrase. You, I explained how all of this works last time, right? Says Acheron.
Not quite, or at least remember the activation phrase and a moonstone.
Okay. So this armor is imbued with an illusion spell that will allow you to take the form of anybody that you've seen before. It's I work on this stuff all the time, but I don't remember the spell's name. Do either of you remember?
Remember the name of the
Don't remember
spell?
the name of the spell.
Is it Alter Self?
Is it Alter Self?
Or Illusory Disguise?
Yes, it's Illusory Disguise. Here, I will dump that into... Hopefully I can dump that. Okay, not if... Yeah. This... Can you let me... Actually, I can. What's all players observer? Okay, so in the items category, there is a thing for illusory disguise now.
Let me see. Be in my inventory, yeah.
It won't be in your inventory. So up at the top, we got all of the different options: chat messages, encounters, scenes, actors.
It, items. Alright. Yes, illusory disguise.
So there's the spell. It's modified slightly, as he'll explain. Illusory disguise. That's right. You pick an activation phrase for me, and the rune activates. And for up to 8 hours, you can disguise yourself as someone or something else. The only rules: you have to have seen them before. Our minds don't make up faces very well, and that's just a limitation of us. But yes, you can appear as someone else. You 6 inches taller, shorter. I could tinker with it more right now, but I think this is more than good enough for what you need. Works for 8 hours, and then all you have to do is set this out in the moonlight for overnight, and it'll recharge.
Gotcha. Okay.
The emblem itself can come off the armor, so you can set it outside without having to leave the whole chest piece out.
That works. Okay. Trying to think of an activation phrase. I'm sorry. Maybe something simple, like it'd just be
Just
like
make
yeah,
it something
like-
true to you. Last thing you want is to have a conversation with a baron, and all of a sudden you're 6 inches shorter and a dwarf.
You're right. First, I was thinking one word, but it probably needs to be a little more than that.
It could be one word.
Ricadarian.
Let me just do. How about Mask of Lies?
Mask of Lies. Perfect.
Fitting.
Just a moment. And he'll take it almost looks like a soldering iron, but it's not attached to anything. And he'll take the moonstone out of the little chest piece and go ahead, and he's just very finely inscribing something on the back of this gem. And there. Places it back on the armor and says, "There you go, all yours." Oh, could I... just don't forget to recharge the batteries I gave the 3 of you.
How do we do that again?
Just leave it out in the moonlight. Preferably
Well, that's-
overnight, but... Go ahead.
Oh, that's easy.
I would do it soon, though, because the end of this week is a new moon. That is when I plan on us going down on our little escapade.
Right.
Don't worry. By the way, did you see anything useful in Sentinel Isle there that we might be able to use?
Looks to Devlin with a look that's like,
Well, there are at least 2 large holes that lead directly to the underbay.
And
That
some kind
works.
of monstrosity in that whole place.
Oh, the Toll House monster? Yes.
Yeah.
It's at risk of divulging too many details. It's amazing how quickly that thing can make work of an adventurer. So if you have a way around it, I suggest we use that.
Yeah, I tend to go over it.
Same.
Over's good. Just be careful. It is very intelligent. I'll just put it that way. And at this point, all three of you start to hear loud voices coming from the front of the shop.
angry loud.
Make me a roll for that.
I guess it'd
Not
be
a
perception.
Yeah, I'll let each of you make a perception roll for me.
It cheated me.
Okay. Perfect. They do sound like angry, elevated voices, but Dawn, you detect just a hint of something else in the voices. A hint of fear.
Something's happening.
Acheron seems entirely unsurprised. Well, here, let me get back to my work. He snaps his fingers, and the armor levitates itself off of his workbench and more or less stands at attention next to you, Dawn. I have changing rooms. Do what you need to do with the armor. It will follow you until you're ready to put it on.
Great.
Cool.
It's cool.
All right, then I will leave you two to the excitement at my front door. Leave you three, I suppose. And with that, his table turns back over, and he continues to work on the gem, sitting on his desk.
Rather than immediately go out himself, Aaron is going to send out a sneaky spy. And Rankle
How
will
sneaky
call
is
up.
a 6 foot? Yeah, how sneaky is a 6 foot long? What's it?
Considering he can crawl on the ceiling, at least a little bit, I would imagine.
Oh,
He
okay.
has every kind of movement speed except burrowing at this point.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Here, we're gonna go to the intro real fast.
Uh-oh.
Give us just a second. Alrighty, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. My bad about that. So, but okay, so you have Rankle climb up on the walls. Dawn, were you planning on using a changing room and changing here, or are you gonna just have it follow you for a bit?
I'll go ahead and change here, so I go to do that.
Okay. And that'll take you just a few minutes. It's rigged basically the same way yours is. So, Rankle, you can hear what Rankle hears, right?
Yes, we have like a master's senses or something like that. Let me see what it's called. Oh no, but he can like hear it, then come and tell me. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Also, why are your hit points so low, Rankle?
He understands Common, yes?
Yes, he understands every language I understand.
Okay. It's just a minute before he comes back. He speaks in riddles, which I am not going to do because I want to save
we
my
can
brain
hand
cells.
it. He can hand wave this away with the classic. Rankle climbs up onto his shoulder, goes into his ears, and goes.
There are people yelling about a strange ship in the harbor. You remember what happened the last time?
Yes, again.
Uh-huh.
Dawn of the Fishmen.
Fish people.
In the time it takes him to do that, Dawn, you are fully
I'm
geared
watching
up
Orin, waiting to see what he tells me is going on out there.
and head back out.
It is comedic because you're probably not so far away, and Rankle is not talking so softly that you shouldn't be able to hear what Rankle is saying at least a little bit. But it legitimately does, to your ears, sound as if he is just speaking complete gibberish, like. Before I was like, again? But different. Well, there's something in the harbor that people are mad about. A ship.
A ship in the harbor.
Aren't they supposed to be there?
You and nods.
So what now?
I go out there to see who's talking and about what.
Yeah, now we can go out since we know it's not like guards come to arrest us for knowing. The Coopers have all been arrested at this point, and you guys knew them, so you're co-conspirators.
Come on, don't you know? Friends of people who do bad things, don't have any sort of accountability in fantasy or real life.
You're making me foam at the mouth, wanting to shout something out.
Okay. So that being said, Dawn, do you have any? Jesus. Dawn, do you you hear what Alex has to say? Do you have any questions before we head out?
So you guys seem familiar with weird ships and harbors. I would like to know just a little bit about that.
Have you ever heard of something called... And Orin, in true country bumpkin fashion, puts on a little razzmatazz as he kind of crouches a bit lower and throws out his hands with jazz fingers as he goes, submarine.
Heard of them, never seen them in this life.
Me neither. Well, I hadn't. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know. I'd heard about boats in rhymes, but I'd never seen a boat till I came here. Now they're everywhere.
You lived in a swamp, didn't you?
No, he lived in Zion National Park.
Wetlands, right?
Nevada, famous for its wetlands.
Yeah.
Listen,
No.
just because everything is swampy there, in terms of... Actually, it's probably hotter in Nevada than in a swamp.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat.
Casual 120 in the shade.
But it's a dry heat.
But I don't care. Not at the point where I can start cooking on the ground.
True. Okay. Any more low?
Let's just mess around and find out.
Valid, especially from this party. Yep, very valid.
Yep, that's what we do.
That's what all parties do.
True.
Yeah.
You go to the front of the store, out the front, and join the throng of people that are all rushing to the seashore or somewhere where you can see the bay. Pushing and shoving your way through the crowds until you manage to find a railing looking out into the bay. You see a large throng of people lining up on the beach as a ship being escorted by two frigates, two Seafoam Bay frigates, or Royal Navy frigates, is gliding slowly into harbor. It's obvious to... Actually, no, the three of you are outsiders. You're probably not familiar with the giant symbol on the mainsail on this ship being escorted into the bay.
Does it look like the symbol from that antique store?
Which symbol?
The Corsair symbol.
I had forgotten that you guys had seen one of those. So yes.
Yeah.
It's a skull
We,
and bones with... Oh, sorry, a skull and crossed swords.
Oh
on a
no, I
red
know what that
tail.
is.
They're coming for me, the tax people.
The IRS got an upgrade.
I mean, I have sailing lore.
You have seen
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, you're well aware. This is yes, a Corsair
good.
symbol.
Pirates.
Now,
Not
they
necessarily
are
good.
with your sailing lore. You see that it does have a white flag flying from the stern as well.
Okay.
So this is not the presage to an invasion.
No, there's only one of
Potentially.
them. And this ship is smaller than the two frigates by a considerable length. We'd probably consider it a sloop. It's just a single-masted vessel. Now, they are much more maneuverable than the frigates. Not as fast, but more maneuverable. Fewer guns.
Probably faster against the wind.
Yes, this is true.
Because all of these three ships are all wind powered, right?
Yes. Oh, actually, I do have something I can show. Let's see here.
They're still not
Newspapers.
using Sinel's ironclads. SMH my head.
Well, because they're not done yet.
They only have
If
a
you'd hurry up and
prototype.
finish a project or two. Okay. So I will show this newspaper to our players. You can hit load PDF, and down towards the bottom at the center there is a picture of a Corsair flag.
Yeah, that was the Corsair battle flag that got stolen from the liquor store we were at.
Yes, sir.
But it was I forget if the liquor store was run by the actual Corsair or if it was run by the guy who's like, I hate Corsairs. I'm fantasy racist.
No, it was stolen from a liquor store by someone who has Corsair heritage.
Hmm.
Because you have someone in the group that does have all of this, and Devlin can relay it to Dawn for me. Dawn. So the Corsairs are it's a nation down to the south of the mainland here. It's a collection of islands that are a group of, think like the Barbary Coast group of pirates, basically a nation that makes their living out of plundering.
Yeah.
And their invasion about 150 years ago, if I remember right, was kind of the catalyst that turned Seafoam Bay from a disparate collection of families into what you see today.
Hmm.
The old king, King Magnus, was one of the band, was basically the leader of the adventuring party that beat off the Corsair invasion.
They did what?
Phrasing.
I can't take you anywhere. I can't. Nope, can't take you anywhere.
I have
No,
I
but,
have assembled over 150 cables today. I have earned this.
Enjoy it, because you got 150 more to do tomorrow, and the day after that. and
Oh
the day after
hell
that,
no! Tomorrow
and the
I'm
day
taking
after
a
that,
nice and easy 45 order.
and the day after that. No, but yeah, no. So they managed to beat back the Corsair invasion, killing the king of Corsairs, King Jarek, on his more or less battleship. Think Pirates of the Caribbean 3. One of the characters summoned a hurricane that managed to gold plate fleet most of the vessels, and then you had Magnus fighting Jarek on a whirlpool down into the Underbay kind of thing. Very dramatic. Everyone was there for it. Everyone clapped.
Cool.
Sorry.
Is that my one poop?
Fun was had by all. But long story short, the survivors of the enemy invading fleet were allowed basically two choices. Hey, you can go home. You'll have safe passage home through us or any other means, or if you want to, you'll stay here, become full citizens, and will be afforded the same rights as any other citizen here in the Bay. And about 200 of them stayed behind, which led to kind of the demographic you had now. Now, as we all know, 150 years can do everything or nothing for relations between groups. And it's always a lot more tenuous than you think it should be. So the Corsairs they've assimilated. They're a part of society. They keep their own cultures, their own traditions from the homeland, but unfortunately, a lot of them have stigma, and suffer the same stigmas that we see in daily life today. But that being said, a Corsair vessel has not set sail in these waters since. So 150 years. And this is the first one you guys are seeing. The town is seeing.
Orin understands a bit about it, but being an outsider is not having as overt a reaction as most. But we'll look to the party to see how they're handling.
It'd probably be similar for me since I'm not from there either. But
we both look to the sailor.
interested.
You're not. You don't
One-
have the same.
It's not the same as someone who lives here.
And speaking of the people who live here, you're seeing all sorts of reactions. Some people are angry, some are scared. Some people think it's, the precursor to another invasion. It's kind of pandemonium right now.
This place certainly gets stirred up when new boats arrive.
Well, first the boat traveled under the water, and now you've got bad people in boats, I guess.
But why would they show up now?
Probably one guy overhears you off to the corner. Because they want my property. That's what they wanted 150 years ago, and it's what they want now.
Oh
I
boy.
won't let them have it.
Back in Friday.
I've lived on this peninsula for 85 years, and I'm going to live on it for another 85, and they can pry this land from my cold dead hands.
Arn will not mention that this guy will probably not live to be 170. Even though it has that gut reaction, not out of any malice, but just being Arn to say, actually, you'll probably be dead long before then, but...
Oh, come on, that'd be funny. It's the same. It's the same energy you're getting from him as I'll be long dead in the cold hard ground before I recognize Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
But definitely, Arn is uneasy about this, especially considering the last time a group of people showed up from the sea, we got involved in a bunch of stuff, including assassinations.
Yeah, but that was assassinations on the fish people, not the other way around.
People? I think you mean elves.
Wow.
I say as someone whose favorite fantasy race is probably elves.
I was gonna say, Dawn, remind me
I'm
what?
an elf. Critical side eye.
Well, when I'm using the K Kona voice, that is not Orin.
No, I know. Oh man.
Actually, you know who else is an elf? Says the half elf. My mom.
Jesus. Okay. So, I don't have anything else for you right here at this moment. It looks like they're escorting the ship into dock, and it's docking. But definitely, this has got the crowd all riled up.
I have to wonder, knowing a little bit about the vote this afternoon, if this is a political distraction.
Look at Dawn coming up with the smart things.
Dawn, did you happen to tell them about what's coming up with the vote? Or did you just kind of leave it alone?
I mean, I think maybe with this happening and seeing a bunch of people get riled up, I'd probably tell them right now, probably, that the vote is about the labor.
Just
and
these
stuff.
two?
Yeah. Bad timing,
Yeah,
guys.
You just shout it out loud for everyone to hear.
You'll never believe
It's
this.
a political distraction!
Oh, man.
Fake news.
But
Oh,
no, it's only fake news. I'm sorry.
The pirates have done to this bay is shameful. Some of the worst.
I shouldn't.
We shall not. He'll sue us.
Sue us.
Just imagine you doing the thing with your hands.
Oh, accordion? I'm doing the
Yeah.
accordion right now. Love accordions.
Yeah.
Some of the best. I love them. Great
Or is
instruments.
it?
I just think of it as flossing. I don't think it's flossing. Probably needs to floss.
Now
I
you
go to
say
the
flossing, and all I can
dentist.
see is him doing the TikTok dance.
Fortnite flossing.
Yeah, the Fortnite flossing.
Yeah.
Go to the dentist
Okay,
and your
back on
tongue's
track,
stirred.
people.
No, you're fine. But let's see. We'll say it's about 11 o'clock at this point.
Oh,
So whatever you guys are doing, what's the plan now? Because you did mention to these two, hey, apparently there's a bill in Congress right now that's kind of hush hush, but it would create a conscription, a rotating conscription force of citizens that would basically go and be conscripted to go do jobs in specific parts of the bay.
Yeah.
They'd be
Oh, I don't
paid.
like
I
that.
mean, a little, but mostly it's yeah.
Yeah, or I don't like that. That's for true.
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like any fun for anyone. No one likes to be voluntold to do something.
Right.
Agreed.
So what happens
Yeah,
now?
we know whose names won't be on the list.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
That's a big nod from me, brother.
Hey, look, a Banivator. Hey, let me help you with that. Here, this is how you
Here.
get banned.
Evade this. Throws thermonuclear device.
Let's see. Oh, I do need to grab some notes. But yes, go ahead. What is the plan next?
What is the
We only
plan
have an
next?
hour to get to the capital.
And I guarantee it's just got a lot more busy.
Right.
Fair enough. So, you guys head to capital.
Capital go. Yes, please now.
As you guys get closer to city center, things get busier. The streets are crowded full of angry, confused, and scared people, rightfully so. There does not seem to be anyone in the streets trying to offer answers for what's going on or security. Things are peaceful for now, but there's an awful lot of people wanting to know what is going on. You guys
Yeah.
make your way up to the capital. As you get up onto the grounds proper, there are a ring of guards surrounding it. Mostly just keeping people back, but without too much fanfare. Wisteria from the other side of the line is able to allow the three of you access across. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. The three of you are safe, unharmed?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard that a delegation has arrived, but I'm not sure who or why or what's got people so angry. Apparently they wish an audience with the Regency.
That's the Corsairs.
In the bay.
They
I'm sorry,
ship just got-
surely it's a
brought a boat.
misunderstanding.
The ship just got escorted in.
Okay. I suppose I should fill the three of you in on what's happening. There's going to be a vote today on a very controversial bill. The Hills kept it under wraps for now, but if it passes a vote, it's going to have to go public. And with all of the unrest in the street currently, and Corsairs showing up out of nowhere, a delegation? Last time they showed up, they didn't bother talking, they just started shooting. What's changed?
Maybe
Many
this
things
is.
can change in 150 years.
Could
They
I
want
do,
an
like-
alliance.
Yeah, like could I do a society roll to try to puzzle out possible ideas? Given like current political climate here, the way the world has generally been going.
Oh, for why the Corsairs would be here?
Yeah.
I'd allow that roll.
Heck yeah, I get to use society. I love
the,
societies.
the DC in my head was 30. Yeah.
It's one of my good skills.
So, generally, when somebody arrives in a single vessel, unannounced, like this, especially if you haven't seen from them in 150 years, your mind goes to one of two possibilities. Either they're here with a declaration of war, proper this time, or they want something that they can't already do for themselves.
Hmm. They want something, at least that's what I'm thinking, but what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but with the speaker, I guess they've penciled him in right before the vote, so we'll get to find out, right?
It seems so odd that this would happen right before a big vote, doesn't it?
Political distraction. Yeah.
Political. Gonna get political. All right. All right.
Me 6 tankards of rum in. I'm about to get political.
Okay. So. All right, I've got that. I've got this. My other notes. Okay. So, Wisteria ushers the three of you up, basically insulating herself from the rest of Congress with the three of you. We've all seen the prequel trilogy Star Wars here, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so unlike lame-ass desks that Congress here in the US uses, each delegation has its own booth. And it's set up kind of like the Star Wars stuff, because I think it looks cool. The giant bowl kind of,
Floating booths.
spread out. I hadn't thought about that. They probably are floating or have some sort of runes under it to allow it to be movable. Basically, most of this building is comprised of three parts. The central large amphitheater with all of these floating booths. And then the wings, which are comprised of office spaces for members of Congress and other agencies that run various things here in town. But yes, she leads you to the central room, the amphitheater. You can feel the age in these steps. as you're walking up the building. So many feet over the past 150 years have stepped where you have that they've worn just as small indentations in the center of the steps. To the front of the building, high vaulted ceilings inside, frescoes on the walls, on the ceilings. This amphitheater, all white marble, all white marble. In these floating booths. They look like they fit about a dozen people with a small platform in the center of it for a speaker. But each of you she has you step into the booths, each one of you. And she steps in, closes the door behind her, and the booth begins to levitate. All right, I think I'm going to take us down into the lower bowl. That's where the, I guess, representative from the Corsairs is going to be down on the floor there. Is it
How
bad?
big is this place? He's looking up and up and up as we go down and down and down.
Art is just fascinated by all of this strange magic.
This bowl more or less covers about 6 acres. And she'd say, I don't know. I just know it gets a little bigger every time we add more delegates.
Oh, it's massive. It almost looks like there's more boots here than there were trees in the forest.
Kind of feels that way sometimes, yes. Although, in the past 30 years or so, about half of the booths are now empty.
Is Dateloff here?
Dateloff is here. Let's take a moment. Sanel, who's in your retinue for today?
Eris, obviously. Toshiro, is that the name of my little lizard man friend? My Tatsuro, my constructor.
Yes, your master metallurgist, yes.
Eris, Tatsuro, and of course, Maddie and Sadie.
Yes. The 2 tons of terror.
Yeah. And for Dawn, since Dawn has never seen them before, Snell Dateloff is of middling height and androgynous appearance for the most part, with short, dark, curly hair. Though and tanned skin, but most striking is patches of green snake scales across major joints, like along their hands, their neck, etc., and striking viper eyes.
We probably should mention to Dawn that so Sanel is not a member of the party. Sanel was a member of a party that I ran a long time ago. And now his character makes a couple cameos from time to time. He's a fairly important member of the city. So, yes, and as a matter of fact, we can say that Wisteria pilots the little booth down and parks it next to the Sanel booth, the Dateloff booth.
And Sanel stands up and has to use the assistance of a cane, it seems, despite looking fairly young, though that could be whatever race they are. They're hard to place with, but have all of these serpent-like features. And around them, toddling around, probably even messing with one another, are a pair of constructs that look like boxy, couple feet tall, white with golden inlays. They move around on a tripod of spidery legs. And as one of them roughly pushes the other one, the one that gets toppled over looks to the other and says,
Why couldn't we be friends?
in what is very clearly like a deep, masculine, dwarven voice. But, so now we'll stand up and look over at Wisteria and be like, Cooper, only one of you today.
Just me, Dayla. You heard that we're having an impromptu speaker this morning before the vote?
One was already bad enough. Now we've another intruder in the bay. Perhaps the courts will finally see reason to my previous statements.
Sanel, you know there's just not money in the budget for an army of war machines.
There will be no money in the treasury if there is no bay.
You know that we've put forth more than enough money for your prototypes, and in time, we'll manage to find the money for a reasonable number of your machines. But until then, we're both stuck, just watching.
And Datelove probably looks especially towards Ravencroft, since the last time we left, Ravencroft had not so subtly committed an act of industrial sabotage. Thumbing or tapping his fingers at the head of his cane. Yes, while the 4 old hats grow all the fatter.
Wish I could say more, but it is what it is. Don, you see him looking at this booth. And in this booth, let me see here. I've got a big book of people here. Yeah, nobility. This guy. I forgot what he looked like. But standing resplendent in his armor in the center of his booth, a full one at that, full of businessmen and other lackeys, is this man. Ignore the typo. It is Dakota Ravencroft.
More like Decode Duh, because he's such a dummy.
But Dakota, well, you probably just recognize the last name Ravencroft, as short of a time as you've been here in town.
Yeah.
You know it's a big, important, noble house here, but you don't really understand the nuance or the hatred Sanel has towards this man just yet. At that moment, we hear the sound of the gavel echo through the chamber. Alistair Pendleton is the one smacking it on the side of his booth as he goes, "We're now bringing this session to order. On the docket today, we have a vote coming up on Senate Bill 2185 of this year. Before we have a vote, there has been a request for emergency counsel to speak in front of the Congress, in front of Congress and in front of the Board of Regents. If the Board of Regents could please assemble down on the floor, we will bring in the emergency delegate as soon as everyone is in place." And Wisteria looks over at Sinel. To the old party lines, then.
Snow finally tears his eyes away from Ravencroft with this, like, just. You can feel the cold-bloodedness in that stare before he looks down with a manufactured look of haughty disinterest. He's like, parlaying with pirates. What have we come to?
I don't think we've come to anything. I think we've always been this way.
There's
And
a
with
very
that-
small nod.
Go ahead.
But that's just, there's a very small nod, almost like he didn't mean to do it, but he does agree.
Mm. And your booths slowly float apart. Wisteria does her best. You guys are probably 2 or 3 rows up from the floor. You have a good view of everybody on the Regency. Dawn, from your limited experience so far, you vaguely understand that because the current king is younger than 18, there's a regency. The regency is supposed to basically call the shots in his place until he is old enough to make those decisions for himself. On the regency, you know there is one member of Alistair, one of the Pendletons, a lady named Babita Beaumont, and I believe it was one of the yes, and a man named Nixon Greymore. You assume of House Greymore, the people that are basically in control of the quarter that your temple is in. But the 3 of them are standing on the floor, and ushered in from a door on the opposite end of this bowl is what you can only assume to be the ambassador or a delegate from Corsair Nation. It's an old, wizened figure walking with a cane and a heavy limp, dressed in captain's finery. A black trench coat with gold thread at the seams, a large tricorn hat complete with a gaudy, ornate peacock feather. He wears a red velvet sash around his waist, and you can see on this man 2, 4, 6, 8 holsters on his chest, and 2 more at his hips. They're all empty, but you have to wonder if those were the only ones he walked in with. On top of his cane is perched. You're not entirely sure. You think it's a golden macaw, but there's something odd about it. It's twitching in an unholy looking manner.
Like in a cursed unholy, or like in a mechanical unholy?
A cursed or undead kind of holy.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's giving off necromancer vibes. Definite necromancer vibes. He's here by himself. Let's see. Let's see. And okay. There we go. I'm assuming you are an ambassador for the Corsairs. May we please have your name? Says Alistair. As the old man rolls his shoulders, brings himself up to his full height. The name's Captain Weatherby, of the Kestrel, sitting in the harbor. Spokesperson for the Corsair Nation, brought before you to discuss important terms. Captain Weatherby. Understood. The individual before us has 5 minutes to make his case before us and Congress. He nods. Thank you. For 150 years, 15 decades, 7 generations. After our disastrous defeat, we had decided to allow the Bay to live in peace. We looked upon it. He's not looking at the Regency anymore. He's turned his gaze upward and he's looking around across the members of Congress in this booth. We considered it gift for our miserable defeat at the hands of your, from what I am now understanding, late king. We swore that we would not step foot on Bay soil again until we could, in good conscience, rectify our mistakes from the past. Unfortunately, I am not here in front of you today for such a convenient nicety at this time. I am here for a plea and to offer a warning. 2 months ago, our nation was attacked in a brutal and swift manner. The perpetrators of this attack, none other than, and he takes his shriveled finger and points it across the room at one of the guest booths. One of the guest booths filled with the ambassador from Mormora and her delegation. The wretched nation of Mormora, hiding below the depths, content to sink us and treat us as no better than any other flotsam and jetsam in the sea. I am here to humbly beg before the Regency and the entirety of Congress for your aid. No longer are the Mormorans content with our food, with our finery, with our supplies. They want our lives. All of them. I received word. Go ahead.
Oh, what's the crowd's general reaction to what we're hearing?
Stoic silence. You can hear the shuffling of this man's feet as he turns around to address the other half of the room. They are no longer content with our shipping. They want our land. They want our homes. They want our families. They've taken far more from us than anyone has taken from the Bay. I'm not saying that to belittle the damage done from 150 air. I'm saying that because on behalf of Corsair Nation, I humbly apologize for everything that happened. And I am proud to say that my kinsmen, my great-great-grandsons, proudly live in this bay and call it their home. And my hope is that we may together forge a friendship that can last 1,000 years. But to do that, Corsair Nation needs help. And if help is not good enough, if help is not in the cards, then a free warning. The nation of Mormora is not one content to sit idly by and watch. Is not content to sit idly by and watch you live your happy lives. First, it'll start with visitations, ambassadors and the like. Then it will start with tourists, with cargo, with oddities and other trinkets. And before you know it, their undersea vessels will be waiting off your coast. Corsair Nation has many faults. We cannot survive on our islands alone, not for any great length of time. I already fear that the other vessels that set out to other neutral countries did not break the blockade and were not as fortunate as we were. But if we don't band together now, enemies alike or not, well, my friends, there won't be a Seafoam Bay there won't be a Corsair Nation to rival Seafoam Bay, and there won't be a Seafoam Bay to rival anyone else. I yield the rest of my time to the chair. There is a long, quiet pause as everyone seems to just take in what was said. The captain obviously hadn't rehearsed much of this. It's not a diplomat before you. This is someone cut from the salt of this, cut from the rough-hewn cloth of a sail. But to each of you, it felt genuine. What are your reactions?
Well, Orin's good at detecting lies with the lie to me and all that.
Mhm.
So the fact that this feels genuine, Orin has just frowned, arms about himself like he's hugging himself a bit closer, And Rankle is peeking out from the side of his hat and is just grinning. I mean, he's always grinning, but this is like the idea, the tension in the room, the fact that there could be, war declared soon. There's just a giddiness to this little monster. Meanwhile, Orin is so anxious that you can see the tips of his hair are twitching about and mingling together like wringing hands.
Hmm. What does Dawn think about all of this?
Well, he initially gave me the creeps with his weird little bird dude, but after he started speaking and seeing that he does seem to come from some experience and saying what he's trying to say, I'm inclined to believe him. And now I'm freaked out in an entirely different way. And the silence in the room is not good.
Devlin?
Devlin's wondering what the sea person ambassador would have to say about this entire thing had she, been here to give her side of whatever this story is. Even though it
She
sounds
is
very
here.
earnest, she needs to say something.
She does, doesn't she? Let's see.
Is there, if she doesn't, is this a moment where other members of the court can speak to the delegate? Or is this wholly for the Regency Council?
This is in this moment, Alistair is collecting his thoughts. He's letting the moment just sit for a minute. And then he goes, the Corsair Nation is asking Seafoam Bay for assistance against an enemy invading their homeland. This enemy invading is supposedly Mormora, a nation which we have an ambassador here for today. Does the ambassador from Mormora have anything they wish to say? And the two of you know who this is. Nadia stands up. For our new player, Nadia Sinclair, the ambassador for Mormora. Much like her picture, tall, elegant. Even in air, her hair flows like it's in water. She stands up in her booth and speaks, and you realize it's not a spell or anything that's causing causing her voice to reverberate through the chamber, much like Captain Weatherby. It's the shape of the room that allows it to be to follow the walls and enter into every booth. I have 3 things to say to you. Congress, Regency. First, in the almost... Let me take a look here. In the almost 6 months I have been here in Seafoam Bay, you have shown me and my delegation nothing but kindness. And in return, we have done the utmost to show you nothing but kindness in return. 2. I am in constant communication with our government at home, keeping them apprised. There you go. Keeping them apprised of the situation here and them of the situation at home. Absolutely nothing has come of any sort of... No, nothing has happened between Momora and Corsair Nation after our ambassador was, as you have discovered in your past, taken captive and then executed almost 6 months ago. After these brutal murders of our people, we no longer have contact with Corsair Nation. 3. These allegations that we are here to invade are obviously false and harmful to our reputation. Do you really think that if we were here to invade you, we would send peaceful delegations? That we would send our tourists or civilians to come experience the wonders of Seafoam Bay? The mind boggles at the accusations put forward by Corsair Nation. I yield the rest of my time to the chair. This has Congress a murmur. Booths rearranging for people to whisper and talk with one another. Others talking amongst themselves in their booth. Alistair lets it happen for just a minute before he bangs his gavel once again and says, "All right, that's enough. We've had statements from both Corsair Nation and Mormora. Does anyone in Congress either have information or questions for either party?"
I think at that pretty immediately, depending on how quiet it's gotten again, there's the sound of Snell, the mechanisms in the little frame Snell keeps over his bad knee as he stands up and taps his cane and floats over his chair that he wishes to speak.
Delegate from Dateloff Estate is recognized. You have 2 minutes.
Fellow members of Congress, we sit here today having 2 members of 2 potential rival nations projecting 2 different stories to us, both seeking our assistance in some manner. But I cannot help but notice the duplicity within both of them and the lack of evidence provided to the court. Ambassador, while I have no misgivings towards you or Momora, the first that we have seen of your nation in all of this time was not a vessel of peace, but a fully armed and operational submersible war vessel, brazenly brought into our port as a show of force. And to you, Captain, after 150 years of near silence, a necromancer comes into our court and tries to parley with us. With no evidence, at least none that was shown immediately, of this supposed attack, with an ambassador of the nation in question sitting across the hall. I am not doubting either of you, not to say that I believe that either of you are outright lying, but that this is something that should not be decided with haste, nor is it the position of my house, nor of Dateloff Industries, that we should involve ourselves in foreign affairs. The Bay is still reconstructing, still growing strong, and adventurism will serve only to line the coffers of those who would, I'm trying to think of the right word, those who would give ground to these foreigners. Casting glances towards the 4 big houses of the Regency at that.
Damn, Sanel a little xenophobic.
I think Sanel had a good point, though. These fuckers came in a warboat, and they're like, "We're not bad, man. I'm not bad."
Damn. Okay. Is that all you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So you yield the rest of your time, and then another person wishes to be recognized. Dakota Ravencroft.
Ah, crap. This is where Sanel gets ejected for going, "Pussy-ass bitch," in the middle of his speech.
Let's see. Excuse me.
He owes me $5.
Dakota moves his booth to the center of the room, is recognized by Alistair, and looks around. Ladies and gentlemen of Seafoam Bay, I urge caution in everything that all 3 speakers up until this point have said. For the one thing I do agree with is that no one here has offered anything other than circumstantial evidence. However, each has their own motives. For example, Corsair Nation. If there is an invasion, and if they are unable to defend themselves, why else should they come to anybody but the Bay? An enemy that was strong enough to beat them once before, and 150 years later could do so again quite easily. The delegate from Corsair Nation is not here because they're afraid. They are here because they know that their best chance of survival is coming to someone stronger than them. Now, that leads us to the ambassador from Mormora. It's true, potentially, that they come in peace. And as loath as I am to agree with something Dateloff says, it is somewhat disconcerting that they would come in a fully armed warship. Now, the reasoning for that could be as simple as the depths are dangerous. Protection is required for a long voyage. Or it could be that that Dateloff was right and they're trying to use gunboat politics. Well, either way, what do we have to be afraid of? We're not afraid of a couple of submersible vehicles powered on who knows what. But I would caution all of us against leaning into what Mr. Dateloff says too lightly or too heavily. For example, why is Mr. Dateloff the first one out of our committee here, the person to urge isolationism, urge lack of cooperation. It's almost as if Dateloff doesn't want this Congress to remember that the only way he gets paid is if we foot his bill.
I think
You
Sanel
see what I mean?
very
Go ahead.
aggressively speaks out of turn and says, "If you mean to make an accusation, say it to my face. Do
Fine,
not
I can do
bore us
that
with politics."
as Alistair bangs the gavel on his booth.
And while
He'll
he's
be
banging
quiet
it,
while the man is speaking.
Sanel stands up and is like, "For my accusation to you is the murder of my employees and the destruction of my property."
That has got Congress all sorts of messed up. There's murmurs. Alistair is just beating on his booth, trying to restore order.
I love
As it
getting
all
to play an
dies
NPC.
As it all dies down, Alistair points his gavel at you, Dateloff, and says, "You would do well to remember that when you spoke, others listened. Someone else has time. If you wish to speak in defense of yourself, you can do so once his time has expired." Now, does this happen all the time? Absolutely. So, Dateloff, Sanel,
This is just something, like, I'm sure everyone gets the classic, that one British guy. "And you speak when it is your turn," or whatever his name was.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that was to be expected.
Devin will lean towards Arn and ask, "Now, which one of them is purposefully clouding the issue?
Why are
When
you
did this
asking
become a
me?
street fight between two men instead of the negotiation between nations?"
This is what happens when you give rich people the ability to speak out loud in front of other rich people.
I think so.
And Alistair goes, "Ravencroft, please continue." "Thank you. As I was saying, the man urging isolationism is also the one whose entire business relies on us buying machines of war from him. Now, I urge us to look at this as an opportunity. We don't know which one of these delegates is lying and which one tells the truth. Or if maybe both are telling the truth. Maybe Mormora has attacked, and maybe the ambassador from Mormora does not know that it's happened. But what we can do about it is ascertain the truth. I propose there is a large mothball fleet currently sitting right next to Sentinel Isle. It has been there for 150 years for this purpose exactly. No more should we be beholden to our tiny little cove. If we want to have answers for ourselves, to make decisions for ourselves, then we should go out and do it. Send our ships. Send our people. No longer should we hide in our little bay. We should take our place on the world stage like we were meant to when we were founded 150 years ago. The time is now. I yield the rest of my time to the chair. Any other delegates wishing to speak? Wisteria looks at the three of you and goes, "We're so fucked, aren't we?" If one of the three of you wants to speak, be my guest, because I don't know what to do now.
Snell does look like he's allowing anyone else who wants to go before he offers his rebuttal.
What do you think of all this wisteria?
I think they're both in it for themselves. Ravencroft is right. The only people rich enough to afford his devices are either the noble houses, the Regency, or the Crown. And he won't sell to the noble houses. So if he's urging... Well, I suppose it makes sense with some of his devices as of late. The, what's it called? Dragon's Lance or something like that? It's entirely a ship-based or a shore-based weapon. It's not something that can be used... I don't think it... Furthermore, his, ironclads... Well, don't tell him this, but I've heard that they have a little bit of trouble out in the deep sea, so I suppose he's urging our isolationism, so we buy isolationist tools. And Ravencroft is urging exploration because he's the only shipyard in town for deep sea voyage vessels. Both are looking out for themselves.
I was more inclined to be asking about the Corsairs and I can't remember. I can never remember the fish people's names. Oh, and the Mormorans.
Yeah, I understand,
Mormons.
but I can only answer what I'm qualified to discuss. And right now, that's Seafoam Bay matters. If Mormor is telling the truth, then staying here is the right decision, because the Corsairs would be leading our navy into a trap. If the Corsairs are true, are saying, if what the Corsairs are saying is true, then going to assist them to break the blockade is probably our best and only bet. Because if they can defeat the Corsair nation, what chance do we have fighting here alone? It's an impossible answer with the information we have. What do you think, Dawn? I know you're brand new to town, but maybe an outsider's perspective can provide something useful.
The lack of evidence is definitely driving the conversation, and yes, people are in it for themselves. I feel like maybe there's another solution besides sending a large part of the Navy to go observe something. Oh, well, I guess, or to ally immediately. Maybe something small to go observe in a foreign nation and then return with information. But that would require espionage.
Espionage. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be espionage. I think I have something. She steps up to the podium in the center of her booth. I wish to be recognized. Alistair nods and says, "The delegate from Cooper Estate is recognized. You have 2 minutes." She maneuvers the booth into the center of the room as Ravencroft had. Ladies and gentlemen of the Congress, I understand that we've heard a lot of conflicting and confusing information. But I believe there's a compromise to be reached here. We cannot rely on the sole testimonies of either the ambassador from Amoras or the ambassador from Corsair Nation. What we need is real information. So, if it would please Congress, and if it would please the two ambassadors here, I propose we move to the front of the vote list, something that we've been putting off for far too long. I propose that we take a vote on whether or not to establish an embassy in the undersea city of Marmora, and would like to add taking a vote on sending an embassy delegation to Corsair Nation. If either person's story is false, we shall know. If either is true, we shall know. If both yes or no, then we shall know. It would require 2 vessels, small, fast, and a crew of between both, maybe 80. With trusted voices in both locations telling us what's actually going on in real time, we can better make a decision. I yield the rest of my time to the chair. And as she moves the booth back in the center, Alistair goes, "A motion to vote on 2 propositions has been brought to the floor. Any seconds?"
So now we'll float up to speak again and offer his assent.
We have a second. Both propositions will now be brought to the floor. The first, a vote to establish an embassy on the undersea city of Marmora. Please place your votes in the ballot box. And you see in your guys' booth, the podium flips over, and there is a small ledger with which Wisteria can write on. She looks at you both and she looks at the 3 of you and, "I didn't think that was going to work. Thank you for the idea, Dawn."
Of course.
I suppose there's nothing to do but vote yes now, huh? She signs her name in the yay column, and it disappears back, and it turns back into a podium. There's probably just a few minutes of voting and congregating as people need to go around to see how everybody's feeling about all of this. Until on the ballot floor, Alistair bangs his gavel and says all of the votes are in, they have been tallied. Before reading the result of this vote, we are to get through the other 2 votes for today. The second vote, establishing an embassy on the island of Corsair Nation. The book opens again. Wisteria writes yes again. Polling closes. And lastly, a vote on House Bill 2815. The book reappears once again and opens in front of Wisteria. This time, everything is deadly quiet. She looks at all 3 of you. I have a bad feeling about this one. She writes her name down on no. Or nay. The book closes. Pendleton looks up. Ladies and gentlemen of Congress, all 3 items have been voted on. Voting is now closed. The first measure, establishing an embassy in Marmora, passes. The second vote of establishing an embassy on Corsair Nation fails. The third vote on House Bill 2815. And in that moment, you hear point of order. Yes, point of order. The delegate from Ravencroft Estate wishes for this to be a roll call vote. Do we have a second for a roll call vote on House Bill 2815?
Dateloff will
Snell?
second.
I was gonna say, it feels like
staring
something Snell would
directly at Ravencroft as he says it with a slight, "You've already emptied the orphanages, Ravencroft. Might as well come for the poor."
Man. Dawn doesn't know anything about that, does she? Yeah. Sorry.
Child labor's legal here.
Oh.
Small hands get into the small places. They yearn for the mines.
That passed, I believe, the first. I think I started the first session.
Yes, it had just passed. And Ravencroft voted yes, so that was a nice little dig.
Yeah, I forgot he voted yes. Actually, did he?
I think he did.
Yes, he did. And the
So, yeah,
Beaumonts did too. I forgot about that.
That is exactly why you've already emptied the orphanages, Ravencroft. You might as well come for the poor.
All right. So, House Bill 2815. Let's start from the top. House Beaumont. Let's see. I'm actually taking this live as we're doing this. House Beaumont. Babita looks up. Yay. 10 votes.
Cuts a look to Wisteria at that with a look that's like, this is fucked.
This is really fucked.
Because I feel like they don't get along all the time, but they probably have at least a respect for each other.
Yeah. She's definitely not in favor of buying your weapons, but she absolutely understands why you feel the way you feel.
Yeah, she is definitely one that has probably seen that Sinel is overly ambitious.
Yes.
Constantly trying to whip up the small houses against the big houses.
Right. So, by the way, there are 63 votes in this in Congress, and it goes based off of more or less the amount of estates you hold. 1 vote per 1 estate. Cooper has 1 estate, therefore they have 1 vote, and Beaumont has 10, therefore they have 10 votes. First one to 32 wins. Ravencroft. Yay. Another 10 votes for yay.
Snell uses that as an opportunity to, without speaking and getting in trouble, is looking to all of the probably smaller houses that he's tried to bluster up into something of a coalition against the bigger ones, and almost just waves towards the floor to show, like, in 2 votes, they've already won.
They've got... So here's the interesting part. There are another 16... I don't have them named, but small unnamed houses that are called next. 7 vote yay, and 9 vote nay. House Whimsy. Yay. Another 10.
He's
Another
dead.
2.
He's still a problem.
Yes. Yes, he is. So that's 29. House Dumaris. Yay.
Huh? My other characters have gone rogue.
Well, Rawl's not there. It's the other members of House Dumaris. Do you remember?
Oh yeah,
your
no,
parents?
never mind. They're in character. We're gonna put our
House
kid in a
Pendle-
homunculus.
House Pendleton. Nay.
Huh.
House Greymore. Nay. House Dateloff.
Nay.
House Lovelace. Nay. House Andretti. Nay. House Cooper. Nay.
Yay. The whole party goes, oh.
Let's see. What have we got here? 10. So right now it is 31 to 30. Nay's leading.
Damn.
House Volnar. Yay. And I would remind you that the person you're thinking of is not there. She's not a part of her noble house anymore. She ran away to be with Osgard.
I was about
that-
to say, she's gone
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
House Eternal. Snell.
Yep, Snell's looking over at Eris.
Because it is currently 31 to 31. She says, yay.
Dun dun dun.
This measure passes 32.
Unsuccessful.
Shit, did you threaten Eris?
No, that Maddie just spouts that out.
This measure passes 32 to 31. How's everybody feeling?
So
Not happy.
you know,
Oh, good.
are we going to Underwater Kingdom Land? Looking to the others. It sounds like a good idea
Did
now.
you say Canada?
Are we
say
going to
you
Water
can't
Canada?
Well, Water Canada, if Corsair Nation is to be believed, is the one invading.
I mean, give war
Viking
a chance.
Australia. Viking Australia is saying that they're being invaded by Underwater Canada. So.
Oh, geez, Viking Australia. I don't want to know what kind of bugs live there.
Yeah.
To the 40-ounce Fosters or Asgard.
God. So, Styria has tears in her eyes as she tells the booth to return back to its original spot. She sits down in the booth and goes, I don't understand why House Eternal did that. I just don't understand. Keep in mind, Volk is that was his sister that just voted yes.
Yeah, that was the chicken.
Just don't understand. Everything
For his
worked.
part,
Go ahead.
Personnel hits a button to return, or speaks the command to return his seat back, and doesn't even look at Eris as he turns and says, "We need to talk."
I did what I had to do for the Bay, is what she says.
Then he turns to limp, it probably on his right, so there's a limp as he turns. And there's a look of legitimate, honest betrayal in Sinel's eyes. The woman that I marched into the plinths with would not have made that vote.
The woman that you marched into the plinths with never made it back. Just like
No.
the Sinel I marched into the plinths with never returned.
We will have to discuss the continued alliance between House Eternal and House Dateloff moving forward.
I am still your sworn servant. I would encourage you to get House Dateloff's name onto the list as quickly as possible, because you and I both know that a war is on the horizon. And the only way we're going to win is more guns. And the only way to get more guns is more people.
An army needs soldiers. You can make the gun, but you will have no soldier to hold it. Where would you get them? Empty the same factories that you just filled?
No. I would build more Maddies and more Sadie.
Even if I could, I'm not going to besmirch whatever civilization created them by turning them into bastardized automata.
So now, you know what's done is now done. We need to prepare.
We do. The bay is turning into a corpse, and the ravens are sniffing at it. But he turns and limps off.
She'll fall. But yeah, so, sorry, Sinel.
This bitch!
Your bodyguard.
This bitch!
Your body. By the way, you guys did need to talk to her. So
Yeah, that just got a whole lot more awkward.
You both need it. Yeah. So your booth has returned to its dock, and Mysterious, as returning to a dock. Your dock. I need... Yeah. A person is waiting there. It looks like one of the delegates from Mormora. I'm sorry the vote did not go the way we expected. But it would be good to see members of the Bay in Mormora. It's probably the most beautiful town in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, please, here. It was to toast your victory, but now that seems a little hollow. As this delegate holds out a bottle to the booth. Wisteria is not interested in taking it.
I'll accept it and say, thank you for the gift. Sometimes you drink to remember, sometimes you drink to forget.
Oui. And, please, Mormor and champagne goes bad quickly. Drink here. I encourage it.
Considering we just had like a incident involving Momoran people, is there some sort of role to see like, oh no, I don't know. Aura just went, that's bad sus.
I do need a perception check from each of you.
Hold on, I need to see if I have a fucking spell for this, because that made me go, huh? Well, I don't have a spell for it, but if combat happens, at least I got all of my spells.
Okay, so we got...
Do I re-roll that? Yeah, I'm gonna roll that.
Dawn. Alright, well...
I got 2 more!
Okay.
Quit while you're ahead.
Fuck it, why not? Let's go gambling! Did it roll?
Nope.
Let's go gambling!
There it is.
Aw, dang it! No casino rules, 7's good, I win!
20, huh? Okay. Dawn. This person's handed the bottle to you guys. And she says it goes bad quickly. You can't help but realize this person, they're a sea elf. That's fairly obvious. But you can't help but notice just a tiny drop of blood on the front of this person's shirt. Not on, but in. Like it bled from the backside.
Oh, please tell me they're not the monsters from last time. The goo people.
Oh no. That makes me very uneasy. I just kind of want to get away from as a group.
Stab him, Paladin!
I do a. I do a diplomacy roll and just be like, "Hey, bye."
Okay.
Hey, thanks. Goodbye.
So the two of you realize all of a sudden, Yeah, that Dawn wants to get out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see this as soon as we can. Let's go, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
I left my champagne glass in my other hat.
It is perfectly fine. You have a good day. As you guys exit the booth, Wisteria with you. She's once again in between. Yeah, kind of in between the three of you. Just don't know what. Why would she do that? I don't understand. You guys exit the main amphitheater, where she kind of brings you to a halt at the top of the outside of this building, at the top of the footsteps, or top of the steps. I don't. That's so. What do you guys? What just happened?
The rights of the common people were just subverted.
Big nod.
I'm well aware of that.
And
But
someone
how's it
that I
true?
don't know who decided to give you a gift of liquor and
Who's got
request you
that, by
drink
the
it
way?
quickly. I've got it.
Okay.
I
I need
think.
everyone to make me a dexterity save.
Oh, okay.
Reflex.
We're not.
Yes.
We're not going to get a chance for
The bad
Rankle to
one.
have a sip.
I forgot. We just have Rankle kill himself on
That's what we
anything
do.
poison.
You said reflex, yeah.
Yes.
Damn, didn't even need it. Damn! Dawn is.
Oh.
Shit.
Dawn cannot be assassinated. She knows where a book depository is at any given time.
Dawn is the. Okay, Damien, you're gonna take.
Dawn is not a
full
Kennedy.
Oh shh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh
That's a lot of
shit.
dice.
That's a lot of
Oh.
damage.
That's a lot of damage.
So, Dawn,
Thank
you
God
escape
we
harm.
rolled under.
Oren, you pass. So you take
So I
half
take
damage.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Damien, you take full.
Okay.
Half
Not
of that
double.
would be 14.
And
Oh, Wisteria's just fucking dead, ain't she?
Oh.
Sheesh! She's dead.
this bomb, Damien, goes off in your hands and sends thick glass shrapnel everywhere. No, please don't tell him. Please don't tell him. You can't do this to me. I wasn't planning on it.
It happened anyway.
Oh boy. That was half my life.
Oh, Wisteria's fucking dead.
As this bomb goes off and peppers all of you with shrapnel.
Wait,
Dawn, it looks like your new armor works very well.
27 damage.
Was there not a way that I could do anything that would protect her?
You know what's funny?
Oh,
She's
You did
fucking
pass
dead,
your
but
perception
Rankle's
check.
not.
yeah.
I did pass your you did pass your perception check, but Well, that person was not who they thought, who they were pretending to be.
Right.
And, yeah. Sometimes we can only see so much.
Right, because I guess I wouldn't know to like do anything with the shield. No, you're right. I'm just asking because I feel bad.
Wow.
I didn't know it was a bomb. I thought it was poison.
So did I.
Oh yeah. It was just like, don't drink that.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have been carrying it around.
God.
Imagine if we just been like hot potato and threw it back.
And now it doesn't look like we did the bomb because we.
Why would we blow ourselves up?
I don't know.
We're bold, not stupid.
Now, to be fair, you were the only one that passed the check. So you were the only one that realized this very convincing bottle of wine was not just a bottle of wine. And nobody, because you were looking at this person, nobody was looking at the bottle of wine, and no one was looking at the sniper with his scope trained on Dayloff.
Huh?
On who? Uh-oh.
We're gonna cut over.
Sinel.
Oh man, Snell's fucking dead. Ah, this is what I get for telling Daniel that his sister died.
We're rich.
Sinel, where are you stalking off to?
Probably back to his estate.
As you're making your way around basically the lip of this bowl in Congress, Eris probably grabs your shoulder and says, "You need to stop and listen to me."
I think Sunil does that. Like he does turn around when she turns him around, but like yanks his shoulder out of her hand and points at her with the cane. And he's like, "After what you just did, I owe you no explanation."
I did too because I had to.
Had to? For what? For this war that you're imagining along with the Ravencrofts?
Or Volk was going to die.
What do you mean?
I received a letter. They have him.
Who?
I don't know. I was told I needed to vote.
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry. I forgot I could trust you.
I think Snell is stunned by that to the point where he's standing up straight, leaned back a little. He is flabbergasted by that.
So now there was one more thing they told me.
What?
I needed to keep you in this room for as long as possible. And at that moment, you hear behind you the sound of the detonation outside. And you see the glimmer of a scope high up in the ceiling as Eris steps forward into its line of sight. You see the damage to her before you hear the sound of the shot. A golf ball sized hole through the front of her breastplate.
Oh, it's...
You
Sinel
feel the thud of a now depleted slug as it bounces against your breastplate.
Yeah, it's in old adventuring instincts had taken in, and Sanel had tried to like push her back out of the way, out of the line of sight. And as this hits him, he doesn't notice immediately because he's too busy trying to catch her as she's falling, even going down to his bad knee, dropping the cane, holding her, just stunned. There's no other. It's like time has stopped, and Snell isn't the current Snell, this ambitious city nobleman. He's Snell, the adventurer, back on the field, holding a dying comrade as Maddie and Sadie combine into their more humanoid form and are projecting a Magitech field. But it's just Sanel, Toshiro, and I assume, is she dead or dying?
She has but a few more moments.
Eris sees something she's never seen before in that moment. And that is just a Sanel not full of some sort of chip on his shoulder, no rage at the world or at people who have wronged him, nor even a Sanel lamenting his state in the world. This is just an utterly racked with grief looked on his face as he's losing one of his greatest friends, one of the only people in the world he would have called friend, in his arms. Tears welling in cold-blooded eyes.
She mouths, "I'm sorry." And then the light leaves her eyes for the last time. And I think we're going to end here for today.
Wow.
Damn. That chicken got cooked.
My hand.
If you had told me back during not Cosmos, Over the Horizon,
Over the Horizon.
that I would be genuinely sad that Eris died, I'd have laughed. I'd have been like, "Oh no, Eris is dead," and
Dancing crowds.
when's the party? Oh no. Anyway,
Yeah. Man, it's end of an era. Nearly.
damn.
Let's start with some sign-ups. Go ahead, Rob.
Hi ho, friendolas. My name is Rowan, otherwise known as Not Me, here today playing Snell Dateloff and Oren Wildgrasp, who are both big sad. Well, Oren doesn't really know right now that Wisteria's fucking dead. He just knows he fucking hurts. Because he just got blowed up. Though this might be recourse to talk to Mom.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, please, Mommy, help. There have been political assassinations, and I need your witchcraft. You can also find me here. I don't believe it's tomorrow. I think it's next Thursday, because we are swapping from Mondays to Thursdays, where we will be playing Napple 2.0 where I play Tariq Badubara, the biomodded guy who is just a little guy. And by a little guy, I mean like 6'10", and is actually part monster and fucking basically eats people, but not really. You can also find me here this Saturday, I think, in Tales of Lazarkin, where I play Arthur Tiller. Yeah, Arthur Tiller, who got his party member back, who is desperately trying to avoid the talk. You know, the I'm a necromancer talk. But it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Once we save this chick and get into... And for those of you who aren't in the game, tell me this doesn't sound sus. A bunch of rich people who meet up at an after parties called the Happy Eaters Club in a setting where the undead run rampant and don't... I immediately went cannibals.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Apparently the undead hate them. They want to assassinate this person. But that's it for me.
Alrighty, next. Go ahead, Lo.
Okay. What's up? This is Lauren or Lo at LowWit36 on Instagram. You're playing Seafoam Bay. Big shook. Political drama and death. But yeah. Let's see what happens next time. Ugh. Good.
Alrighty. Go ahead, Devlin.
Greetings. I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming. And apparently the supervillain of beginning is hand blown up. Ow. Just like out of the blue. That's just thanks, GM. You changed the with one episode, you changed the trajectory of where my character was headed. Because I've got two things to deal with now. One of them is riling up the common folk.
Oh no!
I didn't think about diplomacy until now.
Communist sorcerer, communist sorcerer.
Oh, well, this is the only place you can find me unless you look for me, Computer King, of course, on YouTube. And occasionally oh yeah, that's the last thing I put there. I made a space shanty. So if you want to hear a space shanty, go to YouTube and look up Computer King. It's called Stepping on Desna's Path. It's based on Starfinder 2E. And that's all I got. Back to you, GM.
Before you start, GM, I remembered something that I'm not going to forget this time. With the death of a beloved character, a legacy character.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, man. Alrighty. Hey, everybody. My name's Harrison. And, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is probably the toughest episode I've had here in a long time. All it comes down to is one dice roll, apparently. And the trajectory of a lot of people and a lot of things are changed. You can also catch me not this Thursday, but next Thursday in Apple 2.0. And other than that, I think we're ready to get out of here. Let's do
R.I.P. Wisteria.
R.I.P.
Eris.
R.I.P. both.
Either one.
R.I.P. what?
Lost
Women.
two baddies.
R.I.P.
Too bad.
Assassination.
And now...